Hello, we're back. We're back on TS, where we tell the truth, we tell it like it is, and let the chips fall where the bloody hell may. So it's always good to be back to talk about things. There are so many things happening in Ghana, I don't know where to start. But you know, one of the things though, that I want to draw Ghanaians' attention to is that Jandam is slowly dying. Very, very soon on this program, I'll come here and read the obituary of Jandam. How he died and when he died and all. I'll be explaining what I'm saying. You know me in Kasakwa. Jandam is slowly on his deathbed because they are confronted with a very major issue. Before that, let me say that this whole gold bowl thing, I really want to see the end of it. You know, because Afenyo King came and he made some claims, plenty. You heard it, and then Sami Jemfi also came and balanced all the claims. So now I'm saying this. When I listened to Sami Jemfi and he was talking about calling Afenyo King an extortionist.
You see, my brother, there are many underlying issues between I and Afenyo Makin that you don't know and those watching don't know. I have appeared on news far many times. Perhaps in this country, I have held more press conferences on political issues than anybody. Have you ever heard me use the word extortion against any of my critics? Have you ever heard me? Why will I use this word now? And why have you not heard Afenyo say anything about that or challenge me? Or threaten to sue. So the MPP people talking, there are things you don't know. I will not just, I'm a consummate Democrat. I eat and drink debates. I'm not worried.
You call the minority leader an extortionist.
I'm not worried if you criticize him. Yes. And that is why he cannot comment on that or even challenge me. He cannot. Because he knows that what I said is true. So there are many things that you may not have the benefit of. But let me talk about my good brother.
Afenyo King is a self-made man.
No problem.
He's got the chain of businesses.
Maybe tell him that.
Why does he need to come and extort money from Gold Ball?
Tell him that you want to be his lawyer so that he sues Sami Jemfi to substantiate that claim. Tell him. Or tell him that you give him an interview here and Sami Jemfi will come and that you should dare Sami Jemfi. That is not an insult. I'm speaking about what has happened and he knows.
A few moments later.
Will you be going to court on the other issue regarding...
I have made certain
I've seen your statement.
I'm saying I've made certain statements. I would rely on them without more. Don't rush. You see, in the Bible, Jesus was accused, wild allegations. He kept quiet and watched them. He could have done anything, but you see, when you are dealing with situations, the people of Ghana expect a certain level of maturity from me. The people of Ghana see that this is an accomplished businessman. He's been in the space for some time. He's leading a group. The tradition of the party MPP that I lead expects a certain level of conduct. So if I would be carried away with emotions, I will fail. It's not an emotional game. It's not a game that somebody attacks you, you should also react. No, you won't get it. There's always a bait in politics. But
you see this as a bait?
I'm saying that there is always a bait.
No, I'm asking you specific questions.
I'm saying that there's always a bait in politics. And don't underestimate. Opponents also have a strategy. I was a majority leader. I know how government operates. I know how government can divert attention. So I've been there because the government must hold itself together. So it can be throw this in. Today, social media, let's divert attention. Let's stay in the man. But look, Carlos.
Is that what is happening?
Carlos, in opposition, like I said, was Atufose not in court? Was it not worse than my situation? You get what I mean? So, as for this game, I want to assure the party that the mandate they gave me, God willing, that mandate will be discharged. We would work hard. The people of Ghana expect us to do nothing less.
This one, dear, I want to see it in court. If not court to cry, where is Yoko? Where is the OSP? Where is the Attorney General? Somebody should investigate this whole aspect of an extortion charge or claim or allegation, because if it is, it's a very, very serious thing, and we must get to the bottom of it. First of all, I just want all of us to understand this whole thing about the gold board, Semi-Gem fee, Fenyo marking. Let's not get sucked into this. So, for me, this whole initiation of this gold board thing, the losses and all the big talk, is also part, possibly, of a jandam. Not that it is lying, but that it is something that can be very strong enough to distract us. All I'm saying is that things are going on in Ghana. And whether we like it or not, there is amazing progress taking place in Ghana now. Never in our history have we realized such dedication and the perseverance of a government to get things straight. Since Nkrumah, I don't want to compare everybody with Nkrumah, but ever since Nkrumah, this is the time that we really in Ghana can feel and can sense that there's effort being made to make sure that we do it and do it right. Some candidate and Nkrumah said when we're getting independence that the time has come that Ghana will prove to the world that if given the chance. Then Nkrumah, I'm paraphrasing, when the black man is given a chance, he's capable of managing his own affairs. That's what Nkrumah said. Oh.
There is a new African in the world. That new African is ready to fight his own battle and show that after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs.
He said that on Independence Day. I feel that today under JM, we are seeing the manifestation of that proclamation. So Ghanaians given the chance, thinking right, can actually prove to the world that we are capable of managing our own affairs. The first thing I talked about was TOR, which went completely bankrupt to the point that they were even considering such a Yenton TOR. Let us sell TOR. It is not an asset, Yenton. But JM came, and with the whole reset agenda, he made sure that he changed the leadership of TOR, the management, and now TOR, which we were about to sell, is now making profit for the nation. And the money that they got to make the profit is TOR's own internally generated funds. So understand me when I say that whatever Nkrumah said long ago, I'm now starting to feel its effects. And so I see Ghana on the move. Ghana is on the move. This whole Sagleme housing is being renewed and restored. Sagleme housing for 1,000+ people, was left to rot. I remember Captain Smart did an episode. He actually went in, showed the rot, showed where the air conditioners have been stolen, cables stolen. We actually let Sagleme to rot. Nigeria must come back, change everything. It says, let's put this back.
You can see the beautiful montage behind me. This is how it's going to look when you come back at the end of next year. As the developer said, 700 units by March next year we'll be able to commission, and another 1,000, actually total of 1,500 by end of next year, by December next year.
Now it's the next, one of the things that we're expecting. Tor is on the rise.
Today is more than just the commissioning of refurbished refinery units at Tor, and it's more than just the receipt of another cargo of Ghanaian crude oil. It is above all a declaration of purpose. We're here to celebrate the resilience of a nation that refuses to surrender its strategic assets to decay and decline. A functioning refinery represents more than just industrial capacity. It represents confidence, it represents jobs, it represents technological capability, it represents energy security, and above all, it represents a nation's determination to control more of its own economic destiny. Since May this year, Temawe Refinery has successfully received 3 separate 1 million barrel cargoes of crude oil. This represents a clear statement of government's commitment to ensuring that our petroleum resources increase value and create value here at home. Of these deliveries, the refinery has already processed 2 million barrels into a wide range of refined petroleum products. As we implement the 24-hour economy initiative and the accelerated export development program, institutions such as Tor will play an increasingly central role in expanding industrial production. The revival of Tema Oil Refinery demonstrates that Ghana can rebuild its strategic institutions, add value to its resources, and chart a path towards sustainable prosperity. May these facilities continue to power Ghana's industrial reform and contribute to a stronger, more prosperous and self-reliant nation.
We are fixing Tagleme. I am praying that eventually he'll go and attack Commander Sugar Factory as well. That one I'll do a show about sometime soon regarding how we can quickly engineer a 24-hour economy using Commander Sugar Factory. But let's move on, folks. I hope that we all don't get trapped in this gold board profit loss thing, because it is very clear that so much misinformation has arisen out of that. And you have to understand this, that the purpose and the objective of Jandam is to throw something there and then get everybody to rush towards that thing, focus on that thing, think about that thing, talk about that thing, and be so busily concerned with that thing that they forget that I still have a nation to build. We completely forget that we still have a nation to build. And why is Gold Board such an aim in all these attacks? And I said it the last time. Because, folks, because Gold Board is one panacea that JM has come up with that will eventually, if we stand by it and do the right thing. And I said that at that time, I always say that because they say Nipa are corrupt and then we start doing things wrongly. But if we don't and we stand by the right thing, Sami Jemfi, I salute. You have done a marvelous job. If you keep that focus and keep doing what you're doing, I swear to God, Gold Board will be a very instrumental and vital part in the transformation of this country. We can see it. And I say I was going to declare that Jandam is going to die. Let me talk about it just a little bit for all of us to understand why I say that. You know how Jandam works. If you read the playbook of Jandam playbook, there's a certain list of things that those who are engaged in Jandam must do to succeed. The first thing they must do is sometimes they put it out there that the government is so bad that if an election was held today, the government will be out of business. That's one leg of Jandam. Unfortunately for the Jandam, that has been sort of quashed, because ever since the Fourth Republic, there have been by-elections, and the by-elections were opportunities for a referendum to show whether people are still interested in supporting the government or whether they're going to give the government a lesson. But in all the by-elections, NDC won, which killed that initial Jandam that could have been used to say that the government is not as popular as they think. That's the first thing of Jandamo. Just let's use elections as a referendum. And so far, we have seen the results of the referendum. The second thing that Jandam uses is that they promise a change narrative. Things are bad. Remember, I think in Mahama 1, part of the change narrative, they call it the 2 Ds, dollar and dumso. Maybe I'm a refi.
Dumso and dollar. That's what I think.
I mean, to me, bees from Common Penny.
You see me fair assessment.
No,
and I will say I'm not qualified, but I can say for a fact that he has two problems. Both of them start with D.
Apart from problems?
Dumso and dollar.
And at that time, I think the dollar was like around 4 Ghana cedis. So, but even then, they said it has risen from 3 to 4 cedis in T. The government is so bad. And dollar and dumso, and back in the day, you remember this, were the two things that Jandam used to help create the agenda. Say, Charlie, it's time for Mahama 1 to go. Okay, so the first is the election referendum, which has been lost. The second thing is the dollar and dumso, which has been lost. The third thing they talk about is how you can promise a change of narrative. So this is what we are seeing now, a dollar and dumso. When we come in, we shall change all of that. We are tired of the dollar, and cedi depreciation. So when we come in, we change all of that. But what happened? They came and the dollar moved from the 4 something to 17. Remember? And also inherited a pretty stable energy situation. So dollar and dumso died. So folks, I'm just saying all of these things for us to become aware that the tools for which Jandam works are being systematically crushed. If you're talking about election referendum, that's been crushed. If you're talking about the narrative, it's been crushed. And the other point for all Jandamas in their playbook is that make sure you keep the government challenges, or if you will, failures, constantly in the forefront. They can't be just go back to what is not working and keep it in the forefront. Now there's a bit of confusion here too, because they would have loved to keep unemployment as the key thing. But you and I know that unemployment goes from why. Of late, it's very interesting that unemployment was used. And people trying to explain, remember the long queues at Kentucky Fried Chicken? Remember, it was deadly. People were actually being whipped because Obi Apa chicken kakrawi. Look at some of the scenes. And here was a perfect opportunity for Jandam. You see Ghana, this is all because of the unemployment. This was Jandam at its highest. But we all know that this kind of rush for things is nothing new. Whoever can stand on their 2 feet boldly and tell me that if under the NPP, if KFC had offered the same deal, that rush would not have happened, Esewara. It would have happened. Even before the NPP, way before, under JJ, under whenever, if there was this reduction in prices at any KFC, sadly, that rush would have happened. I think it just points to the fact that poverty still prevails. That's all it does. But unfortunately, Jandamites would like to capitalize on this point and say, we told you that the government is useless. Let's see, under this government, see how people are rushing for chicken. And I'm telling you frankly, every Ghanaian knows that if this thing had happened even 10 years ago, and promise actually come and get free chicken, you would have seen the rush. Charlie, poverty is all over. So I think our concern is how we can really tackle it beyond politicizing it. Unemployment is a big problem. Huge. And the way to solve unemployment is not to say, KFC don't give any more deals and things like that. No. The way to solve it is a systematic thinking strategy backed with data. I don't want to spend all the time to talk about that, but the way to solve unemployment is easy. Adding. So please, the Jandamites that were using the KFC thing as this is a sign that there's poverty. There's poverty everywhere. Maybe they don't rush giddy 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 as we saw in Ghana. But I'm telling you, if you go to Abuja, US, there's poverty there. There are people there who also can't find food to eat. So all they do is that they take advantage, they call them soup kitchens. Free soup being served for the homeless and for the starving. And I'm telling you, the lines at soup kitchens, as I speak today, they are phenomenal. A man for line up just to get soup for the day because they can't afford it. Soup kitchens, they are in New York, they are in LA, they are in Chicago. Every big city in America has soup kitchens for the underprivileged. And they go there and they go and get the soup. And your political issue, obviously soup kitchen, telling me soup, so let me go and drink the soup. If Americans were like Ghanaians, they would have said, because Democrats are in power, look at the soup kitchens. Or because now it's Republican, look at the soup kitchens. Nobody talks like that in America because they know that this is a systematic thing that is part of their nation. There's poverty in America. Don't think that everything you see, the high and mighty, the beautiful scenes that we are seeing in America, that's all America. Oh. There is grass, there's die-hard poverty. In LA, I went to LA once, and I went to a place called Skid Row. Poverty again. Homelessness is what? On Skid Row. People live in tents because they can't afford houses. It's all over. Go to LA and see. Today. There are people who are doing recently decent jobs. They even sleep in their cars because they don't have homes. That aside, all I'm saying is this. For anyone in Ghana to use the shameless, pathetic scenes of KSC as a sign that unemployment has risen in Ghana, that person is just doing politics. So they are real. You know, you hear people, look at the extent of the poverty in Ghana. Look at it. It's just hypocrisy. The extent of poverty in Ghana goes way back. And if we want as a nation to seriously think about how we resolve these issues of poverty, it's not standing on radio to talk about, look at what is happening. No, it is more than standing on radio and talking a few crap. It is calling for a national attention. Let's sit down. Let's think. Let's have a strategy. What is very, very important in Ghana that we are missing is a long-term plan. a long-term plan that shows us how much the population is increasing by the year. Oh, we come, let's build schools. That's all. You should say, oh, let's build schools, because in the next 3 years, the people who are going to be going to school would have increased by so and so percentage. So we have to build these buildings to make sure that we can accommodate them and even build more for the surplus. That is the kind of calculation that goes into development. A national development plan that takes into cognizance every little thing that is important to think of. Look, as I stand down here now, let me ask the academicians or everybody, Charlie, where will Ghana be in 20 years? What will be the leading occupations then? What will be the most wanted and attractive jobs then in 20 years? You can't get that data from anywhere. But when you have a national planning commission that is tedious and working, it is their duty to tell you that, oh, in 20 years' time, we'll have a need for more dentists, because the population would have grown by this amount. And these areas in the rural areas all will not have hospitals until you hear say you'll be increasing by this much by so. That is planning, folks. And all of us as a nation, we are guilty of it. We don't plan, no. It hit us by, then we react, oh, what do we do with this? It hit us by, then we react. But if we can sit down and plan. Right now, I have to commend some ministers. Abuja of roads, I salute. Yes, Abuja of roads. This small boy, I call him a small boy because he's younger than my last born. What is his name? Amwakuhini. I have to commend him. I salute. They are working, folks. See all the dead that came from Ashanti region. It is amazing that for the 8 years that MPP was in power, the so-called overheads, Aswame overpass, Sofo line overpass, nothing happened. 8 years. Isn't it interesting that as we speak now, work is going on aggressively in Kumasi over these interchanges and overpasses and things? Aggressively in Kumasi.
I'm happy the engineer explained why instead of 4, 3, and no one is losing a penny out of that. The savings that have been made because we are providing extra capacity. We are investing over 3 billion Ghana cedi extra to do the bypass. It means that when we save that money, it has given us the opportunity to build 14 kilometers of additional road within the metropolis.
Isn't that interesting? People have realized that the populations are expanding and we need to we expand the road. Look at the Accra to Kumasi Expressway. Massa, I thank God that JM, part of his vision, said we need an expressway from Accra to Kumasi. And it's being built. I think it's 3 lanes either way or something. Massa, can you imagine the impact this will have? Not today, today. It will have a major impact today. But think about the next 5 years. That is planning. Anticipating what we need. You don't wait till 5 years' time, then hit you bang. Hey, Charlie, we don't have this, so then we quickly scramble to do things. Let us go into planning. And for those of you engaged in Jandam, think about that before you start making all the noises. So for me, this whole God Bowl thing, we are so blessed as a nation that this whole gold board agenda has come up. Because trust me, the role that Gold Board is playing as part of our resetting agenda to bring back Ghana is phenomenal. And that's the least I can say. Whether if there have been some losses or whatever, let us as a people see it as losses, and how do we prevent that if in fact they are what we are claiming? How do we prevent that? Rather than this whole aggressive thing against one person, like we should remove him and no, folks, that is not the way. That's why I'm saying that, Jandam, you suffer small. I know you won't stop. This man went and talked about Jandam should even be, if you will, amplified. He says Parliament is a place of records. But in our party headquarters there, in a place of records, let's use propaganda.
We are in a position. We don't need facts. We need to propagate. We need to propagate. 1.5 years in opposition. The party is in Parliament. There's no problem. But in Parliament, it's a house of records. And at someone down, it is not a place of records. It is a place of propaganda.
In other words, let's use Jandam. Let's put the Jandam out there as much as we can so that we win power. Master, shame on you. Your thoughts are outmoded at birth. Your thinking is outmoded at birth. We are dealing with a new Ghana. A new Ghana where people are more enlightened and they are more discerning, and it has come to the point where you just don't throw dust in people's eyes and it works. You seem to be still engaged in that archaic, outmoded formula of looking for power. Yeah, let's lie. When we lie constantly, it will start turning from fiction into truth. It is gone. Those days are gone. Folks, those days are gone. Even, what's his name? Kofi Bentil. I think I hosted him long ago, back in the day when I said TGI, but I remember hosting Kofi Bentil. So me, I'm grown, so I have sometimes vague recollections. But I think Bentil was one of my guests. And Kofi Bentil, whether you like it or not, is a very, 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 very intelligent guy, but also happens to be somebody that has been very critical of the government. And there's nothing wrong with that. But even when he says that, he sees that the Gold Board is also of value to Ghana. And he sees that JM has taken a step in the right direction.
Gold Board is the best we've done so far. Anybody trying to suggest that Gold Board is a mistake is wrong. Gold Board is the best we have done with our gold resources yet.
But it only means that we should know that the Gold Board is a very, very vital part of our growth. So I'm saying all the Jandama part and the Hula Balua part, let the courts deal with it. Yoko, Pacho, call both of them, find the truth. But let's not let that detract from the development. My point is, let's keep the focus. The big push should continue. The building of the roads should continue.
For centuries, the people of Afram Plains have relied on ferries to cross the Afram River. While these ferries have served the area for many years, frequent delays and seasonal disruptions have impeded easy movement of people, goods, and the provision of essential services. The Echiamanfo Bridge, a 3.6-kilometer permanent bridge, will be the longest in Ghana and will replace the ferries, providing safe, reliable, and all-weather crossing. As part of government's Big Push infrastructure program, it will connect the Afram Plains to the national road network and unlock the significant potential of one of Ghana's most important food baskets. The bridge will make it easier for farmers to transport maize, cassava, yam, rice, and other produce to markets, reducing travel time. It will also improve access to healthcare, education, and other essential services. while creating jobs, attracting investment, and supporting food security. Expected to be completed by the end of 2028, the Echiamanfo Bridge is a gateway to opportunity, bringing communities closer to markets, services, and a better future.
Plus many, many other things. And let's not be distracted by this thing that they have been thrown out there. Go, but I say, na giddy, giddy, giddy. We are forgetting where the focus should be. The focus should be, Charlie, let's back this resetting agenda. JM and your appointees and all the rest, let's keep the focus and make sure that what we elected the NDC for is what the NDC is seeking to accomplish. That's the mandate they have. Folks, we'll come back again, but until we come back again, let us all know that it is important to keep the focus. And when we do, trust me, we can all collectively say very soon that this country has risen again.